Walking is the best form of exercise if you want to adapt to one. It is universal, meaning everybody walks. It is universally available because wherever you live, there is a space, a road, a lane, a forest track, or a sandy beach. See, dogs are walking, we are walking. So all you need is good running shoes, because at some stage I would assume that you will not just limit yourself to walking, but you will want to run, because spending 150 minutes every week, which is roughly 30 minutes 5 times a week in zone 2 heart rate. Now I'm going to explain what is zone 2. Is extremely beneficial. When I say extremely, obviously there is a facts and figures like what will happen, how much your risk reduction will happen in terms of cardiovascular mortality, etc. But let's not kind of get involved into all those statistics. Just, it is good. Humans evolved and we ran since I think the first human was born, and we ran with a purpose. We didn't run for exercise. We just ran because sometimes it is getting out of the grips of a deadly tiger or lion, I don't know what. And sometimes we ran to kill a prey, sometimes we ran to compete with each other. Sometimes we chased other tribes, sometimes we get chased by other tribes. So humans now forgot to run, and I don't see many running people in either my neighborhood or anywhere, to be honest. And running makes your body very symmetrical, and if you run regularly, you will get to know how you should move. So it teaches you some mechanics, kinesiology. The most important thing to know during running, amongst other things, is how your foot should land on the ground, because if you don't know what you should be doing, because we got accustomed to wrong way of walking even, then when you start to run, we can seriously injure your spine, hip, knee, feet, and everything starts from feet upwards. Because if the feet is not landing properly, if you're striking with your heel or forefoot, then you're not using the articulations in the feet, then the shock waves will be sent to knee and then upwards along the posterior chain. So the first time I started running seriously probably was 2018. I'm kind of walking back, not to get into this water, when one of my trainee doctors told me, Doctor, we're going to do a double marathon. I said, why not? And that was a stupid thing to do, but sometimes stupid things will change you, and it did. Now I run most days, and in terms of a habit, we need to set a low bar, because sometimes when you're so tired, particularly if you think you're going to run at the end of the day rather than the beginning of the day, then at the end of the day you're very, very tired, and then you cannot run. So it's best to start your day with a physical movement thingy, either yoga or running or jogging or simple walking. And the beauty of running is that the day you are not feeling energetic, you can just take a walk and make it very simple. So 12 minutes I will walk in one direction, and 12 minutes I will come back. That's as simple as that. Now, how fast should you run? Obviously, in the beginning, you run gentle. In fact, you do speed walk, you do walking, jogging, and walking back again. But as you keep on doing this, then probably your exercise tolerance, your ligaments, your muscles, your tendons, your lungs, everything will get slightly better every day. Should I? Will it? No. Recede. Anyway, it will get better every day, and then your tolerance and capacity and performance will get better. And you can run longer and faster. But as I said, when you are motivated, enthusiastic, encouraged, you start a huge program. Oh, I'm going to run for half an hour every day. That's not going to last long, because it has to be simple. Simple is 12 minutes. And why 12? Why not 10? Why not 5? Because there was this Dr. Cooper who kind of proposed or invented this test called Dr. Cooper test, that how far you can run in 12 minutes will determine your cardiovascular fitness, or cardiorespiratory fitness, should I say, because it is not only cardiovascular, it involves your lungs as well. So cardiorespiratory fitness, or CRF. And with that distance, with an website online calculator, you can calculate your VO2 max, meaning how much oxygen you can use, your body can use. That means the performance of your lungs, your heart, your blood vessels. And it doesn't stop there. How much of that oxygen can be extracted by the tissues. So it's like a 360-degree view of your whole metabolic system, and supply food and supply chain and everything, oxygen, hemoglobin, everything. So see, if you do a gentle walk, like a little bit more than gentle probably, see how far you can go in 12 minutes. And then that's your start. And then see if you can convert that into walking and a little bit of jogging maybe, and see how far you can go. And then maybe after 1 month or after a few weeks, you can start doing a little bit of sprint here and there. And whenever you're feeling a bit out of breath, you just slow down and start walking again. So it's very customizable. That's the beauty of walking. I have walked in the different terrains, in different locations. Wherever I go, it may be forest, it may be beach, it may be mountain, it may be a city. I have run in Rome, I have run in Paris. So, now I'm currently in India, West Bengal, it's eastern part of India. And I'm intending to take a walk, because this is not a very nice track for running. But let me see, I'll try. And before you run, you need a mobile phone, and you don't really need, but I use it to measure my performance. So you download a free app like Strava or Run, Map My Run, and then you switch it on and you start running. It will clock your time, your distance, your pace and everything. And the other thing, I take pictures while I run, I talk, I get ideas, and you can upload those pictures along with your running route and stuff, and you can see other fellow runners on the app. So that's it. It's a tiny habit of 12 minutes of physical movement first thing in the morning, and I tend to couple it with a couple of stretches. And if you want to do one sequence, like a simple sequence, it has to be Surya Namaskar, meaning face the sun, and don't look at the sun, but just face the sun, and do certain poses called sun salutation. It's kind of, you are honoring, you are paying your respect to sun god, or sun, because if that goes, everybody goes. Nothing will exist in this world if that goes down. So that's kind of all our energy, everything that we are doing here is dependent on that thing called sun, because the energy, I'm talking to you, running, walking, everything is coming from burning the food. And where the food is coming from, maybe you said I'm keto, I'm carnivore, okay, fine. Then where that animal that you're eating is getting the energy from grass, vegetables, and that is coming from photosynthesis. What does it mean? That means green plants is making food which has got energy, and they are actually trapping the sunlight, they're trapping the photons in the food, and that's what you're liberating inside our body. So sun salutation is a form of stretching exercise. Anyway, I mean, you can change into a high intensity workout by if you do the sequence fairly rapidly. There are a total of 7 poses, some repetitions, so 11 movements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and that's the whole sequence. And I think I've done a video on this in Delhi airport because I saw some nice statues. Anyway, so that's a gentle stretch, beginning of your running or walking, or at the end of your running and walking, because 3 things are happening quite in epidemic proportion. There was sarcopenia. As you age, every I think after 30, every year you lose 1% of your muscle mass. That means 10% in 10 years. And similarly, as you lose muscle, you lose joint flexibility. I coined a term called flexipenia. That means your body is not flexible, it's lacking flexibility. Like a child, a teenager can easily do any yoga poses, almost any yoga poses other than the balanced ones. Like shoulder flexibility, hip flexibility, spine flexibility. But ask one of the 30s and 40s to do any of this, they will struggle. They can't even sit on the ground like a squat. And the third thing is aeropenia. Aero means oxygen, so air. So you're out of breath. So 3 things you have to think about when you are planning an exercise regime or movement. You can call it a movement regime. One is some muscle building stuff, which is push-up and or press-ups or squat. And I particularly like Indian push-ups, which is we call dawn. It not only is a very good upper body strengthening, it also is very good mobility. Look at the guy, he's running so fast into the sea. Can you see? Let me zoom. Yeah, he left his meds and into the sea now. Anyway, so muscle, some push-ups for upper body and some squat for the lower body. And flexipenia, the treatment or prevention of that will be some stretching movements, which can be this sun salutation. It takes less than a minute to do 1 cycle, and you can do 5 cycles, maybe 5 minutes of stretching and 12 minutes of walking / running, jogging, sprinting, and then 12 minutes back. And that will be your zone 2. Now zone 2 meaning your heart rate is more than zone 1. Zone 1 is simple walking, very gentle, maybe speed walk. And zone 2 is when you will have a little bit of difficulty talking while doing that activity. So if you're in zone 2 cardio and running, then you can still hold a conversation, but it is not easy. And in zone 3, it is very difficult. And there is zone 4 and 5. And these cardiac zones or heart rate zones are calculated based on your maximal heart rate, which is usually 220 minus your age. So say if you're 100 years old, then 220 minus 100 is 120. So that's your maximal heart rate. And if you take a percentage of that, I think 50%, 50 to 60 is zone 1. So even though you can gather like 100 same age, same gender people, and if you ask them, if you calculate their maximal heart rate, obviously it will be same because their age is same. But then when you get them to exercise, some will even get shorter breath with heart rate in 50%. So they are short of breath in zone 1 rather than zone 2. And some, the trained runner, they can be talking to you even in zone 3 or 4. I think it's really difficult, but zone 3, yeah. So anyway, so I'm going to go for a run. See you then. 6th of August. It's a lovely Saturday, 2022. My family is still sleeping in that hotel called Kiss of Sea. It's really nice. Listen. Can you hear? The waves and the wind and nothing. Our mind is like that. There's so much chatter on the surface, but if you go deep in the sea, there is no chatter. So that's the fourth pillar of good health, called meditation. Meaning sit down in a quiet place, and if you can't find a quiet place, just put some earplugs or a headphone and start playing some masking noise, like a white noise, like whooshing noise, and then close your eyes and then focus on some internal sensation, which can be breathing, which can be paying attention to all your joints, how my knee is feeling, how my hip is feeling, how my feet is feeling, or temperature, am I feeling hot? So these are called interoceptors, whereas eye, ear, these are exteroceptor, smell, taste. So if you focus on interoceptors, you are making connection with your body, what your body tells. Most of the emotions actually are a body reaction, meaning when you're feeling scared and when you're feeling excited, both according to body is the same, because your heart rate is going up, your pupil is dilating because you're getting ready for a fight or flight, and your blood pressure is going up. You're fully energized because you need your energy. So that's called activation system, a sympathetic system, fight and flight, and we all need that. But the problem is that compared to ancient humans who could switch this on when there is a danger, real danger, I mean death and life danger, they could switch it on, fight or escape, and then as soon as the danger is over, there is a reflex called ha-ha reflex. I call it ha-ha reflex. Like they laugh. That's a cue for rest of the tribe that danger is gone. That's why if you see somebody laughing, you also feel relaxed, because laughter was the cue that danger is over. And the other communal reflex is yawning. If one yawns, you yawn, because that's a reflex, ancient reflex, sending a signal to the team members that I'm tired, so please slow down, guys. So yawning reflex and laughter reflex are the two primitive, very, very primitive reflex. Anyway, so all the emotions, as I said, if you jump out of an airplane, like a skydive, you are extremely, should I say, excited, agitated, with exactly same response, physiological response, like if you are extremely scared of a snake and if you see a snake approaching you. So physiologically there is no difference. So if you do meditation, internal focusing, then you will realize that your heart rate is going up. You're feeling a bit awake, agitated to some extent. But then comes the upper motor neuron, the mind framing. Am I excited? Am I scared? And that's the beauty that only humans can do. We can frame any experience, any physiological experience. Oh my goodness, it's 18 minutes I've been talking. Anyway, I need to stop because there's a golden rule. 18 minutes is a max I can do. It's almost 19 minutes now. So think about what I've just told you. Yes, we need money, we need relationship, but first of all we need health, and that's where everything begins. Thank you. Have a nice day.